lepers and the lames at. Life is like a dice game.
Round 1 of 12. There is a whole lot of beef in the ring right now. Lennox Lewis against Big George Foreman. What's the one distinct advantage each man has?
Well, for Lewis, maybe he's a little quicker. And, you know, believe it or not, he's even bigger than George. He can stand on the outside. He can try to force George to come in, time him with that great right hand. But George has the better chin. George is a guy that, if it comes down to it, that old saying, push comes to shove, he might be the last guy standing.
Very clever move there. A little defense turns to offense. The counter punch by Lewis. So right from the start in this fight, he's committed to the body shots.
Well, that's the time to go there right at the beginning, because body work pays off for you later in the fight. No sense in wasting time. Get right to it.
90 seconds to go here in this round. What a good counter punch by Lewis. Lewis is coming up big here early on in the fight, because he just showed his opponent, hey, listen, you got to be careful. I can counterpunch you.
No better way to slow down your opponent. You know, we know the other way you slow him down. You hit him right on the shin, and you make him say, hey, I don't want to walk in. But when you make him miss and you counter, that slows him down, too.
Lewis is making for a tough target there. He gets away from that punch. Well-targeted counter punch by Lewis. Last 10 seconds of this first round. Lewis is coming off a round where clearly the swelling was starting to affect him. And now, hey, this critical time in between rounds where they need to try to control things.
Yeah, right now you have to be calm. That's where it starts. Be calm, don't panic if you're the...
Oh, and there you go. George Foreman stunned, and he is hurt. Nice block by Foreman. Teddy, I guess they wanted it. Look at this action going right out there, wasting no time.
No, these guys are impatient. They couldn't wait to get at each other.
No, we're watching Lennox Lewis here tonight, but Teddy, you know, a lot of American fight fans, sometimes they turn the other way with Lennox Lewis. They never really got behind him because they don't like the way he acts as a heavyweight champion.
Well, Americans want you to wear your heart out on your sleeve to a certain point. They like emotion. They love emotion. And Lewis doesn't show that kind of passion. He's very contained, very cerebral, but he knows how to get results where it counts, in the ring.
Halfway through round number 2. That worked out really well, throwing off the right hand after getting tagged like that. Accurate counter punch by Lewis. Missed the target with that hook. Now he's trying to create an opportunity here as he backs him up against the ropes. Nice block by Lewis. There it is! George Foreman stunned, and he is hurt. Rushing uppercut by George Foreman. We come to the end of this round, and likely a much-needed break for these two warriors because they have been non-stop.
No, they don't know how to fight any other way. They came in, they introduced themselves in the middle of the ring, and they've been there all night.
Back to fight action as a new round is underway. Of course, in that last round, it was fairly one-sided. He was hit pretty hard, and now he has to overcome that here.
Yeah, you don't have to be Nostradamus to know that. I mean, everybody saw, you know, he got staggered, his knees buckled, did a little dance there. But what you have to really know now is know why you got hit and correct that immediately.
Back to George Foreman and his early days, and I think one of the visions that most fans remember is holding that tiny little American flag in the Mexico City Olympic Games in 1968 after claiming gold.
You know, that's an interesting point because Foreman's not known as a guy with great personality. You know, he's a guy who's a disdainful looking guy. You know, he's a guy that kind of reminds you almost of a Sonny Liston. He tries to intimidate you. He does intimidate you with his power, with his size. But at that moment, he showed that he has personality, that it's inside him.
Foreman's movement's really helping him out, avoiding that punch. Oh, Lennox Lewis is banged by a left hand. Oh, that's gotta hurt. George Foreman's feeling the impact of that hook to the body. That shot up top. So the round comes to an end. Joe and Teddy here ringside, and we've been enjoying sitting ringside because, Teddy, I know you have some of your fine guests from the Dr. Theodore Atlas Charitable Foundation with us here tonight.
And they're having a great night, and it's great to have them here. The thing that I want to say is thank you to all the people that help us, help many. They trust us. They allow us to be the middleman to give out the resources where they're needed. Thank you for mentioning Joe, and thank you to all the people that help us do what we do.
Oh! George Foreman's tagged by that powerful hook. Teddy, you get your hands on George Foreman. You can shape him any way you want. What do you want to improve with him?
Well, first of all, you want to understand what you don't want to mess with. I think that's the most important thing to a good teacher, a good trainer. What not to touch. Obviously, his confidence that he can hurt you, and his ability to control distance, to be set on his feet. He knows he's a puncher. He's always set to punch. That's one good thing about him. You want to improve his technique. He leaves holes. Shorten his punches up a little bit. Cover. A lot of times after he throws a heavy punch, that heavy punch drops down and he leaves himself open. He doesn't cover back the way you would want to. The old timers would say, throw a punch, test hot water. Get that hand right back.
Oh, and there you go. George Foreman's almost out of it there. He was stunned. There it is. George Foreman's down. He is down.
One, two, three, four, five.
He went down from a big shot. Now he's got to have some big guts to move along.
You're going to find out exactly what he's made of.
To an end. We did have a knockdown in that round. Now, Teddy, if you're in the corner where your man was down on the floor, what are you telling him? Oh! George Foreman's been stunned. Way to block there. George Foreman's on the heels of that knockdown he suffered, and right now, can he get up from this? He's done it before, but can he get up from a second time down? Lewis is going to be partying tonight. A knockout victory. It doesn't get better than that. Lennox Lewis is your winner by knockout.
I feel like I just read a book. You know, I know a little bit more about this guy now.
For Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. Have yourself a great night.
Got the crib about 7 p.m. Gave a little homie some ends and shine my rims. I got riders and road dogs and my friends. It was a hot sunny day in LA. The story begins in my low doggy dog.